of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Big up. Big up. Big up. How's everybody doing? Welcome in. Happy Monday afternoon here in El Paso, Texas, episode 88. Ay, Dios mío. Mi corazón. No sabes nada. Anywho, how's everybody doing? Wow. Obviously, I don't even know how to intro the show. I glanced at the comments already within here. I don't even know how to intro this show. So I'm going to slowly fade out the intro music as I say happy Monday. Oh my God. Where did it all go wrong? Where did it all go wrong? Oh, where did it go wrong? Somebody tell me. Because I got a few areas I think it went, but I'm gonna be real honest, y'all. I am absolutely getting rinsed right now, and I want to say hi to the chat, but I'm scared to keep looking.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Yikes. Shit. I've got a beautiful guest. He's already in the back. Seeing his face is making me feel better. My oh my. Hit that like. I guess if you want, you can hit the like. I don't know. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Isn't that what they say? I'm gonna bring out my guest. I can't even fucking intro the show. Kufa, help me, bro. Help me. I'm getting cooked right now. I don't even want to look at the chat. I just, every time I glance over, it's help me out. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Hey, let them have that fun, mate. We're going to lose at some point. It's just, I don't think any of us saw it happening like this, did we? And why does it have to be against Chelsea? Why couldn't we have done this against Luton or something like that? That would have got it out of the way. Why is it always against Chelsea where we completely lose the plot? It's that tribal battle bit. We just we have a mentality issue when it comes to playing them. We just turn it into a war. if we just stuck to the football, we would have just cleaned up. We would have beaten them. But we didn't stick to the football. We just get caught up in the moment, turn it into a street fight, and get punished for it. You've got to laugh, haven't you? I mean,
bro, I'm telling you.
Where it is. But what did I say before the game, mate? Do you remember? Even if we lose, brush it off. Off we go again. I'm not fussed. It's at the end of the day, it's 3 points. I'm not fussed about the loss. Yeah, well, I'm a bit fussed. Obviously, it's Chelsea, isn't it? That's the real problem. Yeah. It's the fact it's a team we hate, and these teams hate. So that's what there's a lot of positives to come out of that. There's some negatives as well, of course. The doggy I forgive because, he's a young player, inexperienced. He was lucky perhaps to stay on, with the way red cards are dished out with his initial challenge on Sterling. But he did stay on, and he has managed to manage his yellow cards before and not get sent off. This time, not so lucky. I think the determination to try and make up for things got to him. He mistimed the tackle. I can forgive that. Our boy Romero, though.
Bro, that was his. No one can tell me anything about his Argentina allegiances, because that was Argentina's midfielder right there that he put that stomp on. So I don't want to hear any more. Romero loves Argentina more than Spurs. He didn't see no Argentinian flags whenever he made that challenge. Yo, for me, I'm keeping my energy the same. I was on the football terrace momentarily just to say my quick spiel, which was look, I'm gonna keep my energy the same about officiating, the same way I did with Liverpool. You play cleaner, you stay on the pitch. That's what I said about Jota. That's what I said about the other Curtis Jones. That's what I said about it. So I'm keeping my energy the same, Kuva, personally, and I'm gonna say, Romero, what the hell was that? And why is it always Chelsea, you acting up like a naughty boy in class? The first time he was pulling Cucurella down by the hair, lucky to get away with it. This time, some people said he deserved a red for the kick out. Either way, karma found both of the people that they're questioning for their red cards. Look, I thought we got away with some. Chelsea got away with some. In the end, we committed more and more, and they were like, you're not getting away with this anymore, and we were shown the door. Well, two people specifically, Udogie and Romero. Look, my head is absolutely rattled. I'm honestly, I feel really like I'm starting to not feel so laughter right now because I'm thinking about Van de Ven. And when I think about Van de Ven, I real quick want to make a point that I definitely, this is my hypothesis here. This is my, you can call it tinfoil hat, you can call it whatever, but I've worked in the realm of professional sports for the greater part of my adult life, Kuva, and I've seen it firsthand. The more commercial breaks in American football, the more injuries there were. The turf and the more delays. And anyone who's been at any level of being an athlete in a competitive sport, whether it be high school, collegiate, or pro, amateur, semi-pro, whatever, you know that your physical body needs a warm-up before you go full speed and a cool down before you rest completely. And Van de Ven, the time in which he got injured, we had already had 4 very, very long VAR breaks. And so I'm going away from the result for a second to talk about the Van de Ven injury specifically, because I feel pretty adamant about this, that I think all that stoppage of time and then the players just standing around waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, that led to why Mickey ended up pulling his hamstring. Because if you watch the replay back, he was literally going to use what he has, which is his pace, to get back and clean up for us. That's what he was attempting to do, and it went out whenever he was trying to hit that next gear. To me, what that's a sign of, he wasn't properly stretched. And why wouldn't he be properly stretched in the middle of a match? Because of all these VAR fucking stops. And honestly, that makes me more mad than the loss. The loss hurts. This is a humbling experience for sure, and I'm gonna have to show my face in a few different forms, Kuva, and I'm gonna have to hold that. I mean, the first comment here is from Drunk Vigo, says hold that, and I'm gonna have to. I'm all the way scrolled up, so I'm at the very first comment. I have not even seen what is waiting for me down below, but big up to everybody who is here. Hit that like if you're happy, hit that like if you're not, like I am. But the poll right now has 64 votes. The video has 34 likes, so Shirley, but don't call me Shirley, we can get them likes up. Right now the poll says Spurs recklessness has caused the fall, for it says 47% right now, and then a 29% right now also says we were bad today, but we move, and I support Ainge, which is kind of where I feel like it was just all around bad. It could have been 7-8-1 if Nicholas Jackson was Ivan Toney or Victor Osimhen, two of the targets that they're talking about going for in January. The way we were playing, a lot of people are very upset. I just tuned in for a second, I heard some yelling on some channels and some very upset people, and like, look, I'm not going to be more upset than I got to be about this, but at the end of the day, to quote my man Saad, at the end of the day, we got to take that first L of the loss and keep the first loss of the season, excuse me, and just keep moving. Big up David Shear gifting 5 memberships, shining a little light here throughout the darkness, the dark of today, shining some light. Letty, Erba Hurts Feelings, Carl Gerke, Steel 24/7, and Daniel Horton. Big up. You were all just gifted a membership by David Shear, so big up David Shear. Thank you for that. Just help. Hey, you know what this is? Just something to help ease the blow of all the bad news that is to come, because we got to talk about it, Kuva. There's a lot of injuries and red cards that occurred in the first 45 of this match, and to me, Madison's injury wasn't necessarily one that I would say that was VAR's fault, but Mickey Van de Ven's, that one really breaks my heart, because this kid was just his 10th, 11th Premier League start, just really coming into his own. Everyone's talking Vertonghen regen, and we're feeling happy. And then the hamstring injury. Like I don't want to harp on that. I may want to because it makes me deflect a little bit away from the result of today. But just real quick, Kuva, what are your thoughts on the Mickey Van de Veen injury while I try and catch up on this chat?
You're absolutely right what you were saying. You look at track athletes, the moment they run their heat, back the tracksuit goes back on. They keep the muscles warm, they keep them relaxed, supple. On the football pitch, they're stood around waiting. It's not a problem just for us, is it? This is the game in general is suffering because of it. Other managers have been complaining about the amounts of injuries that are happening now. Is it a coincidence? I think I'm with you, mate. It's we didn't used to have these ridiculously long stoppages, and we're having it every single game now. When's the last time you've seen a half of football that didn't last at least 9 or 10 minutes extra on top of the 45? It's just not good, enough. But side issue to a lot of things. First thing I will say is I'm not going to do any bitching or whining tonight about what happened.
No,
we lost.
Definitely not about the refereeing decisions either. Yeah. I put it in the poll just for variety's sake and trying to represent. There are some people that were on the football terrace talking about that they felt like the ref was a little hard done on us today. I did not feel that way, and nor in a win when a ref makes a decision for us do I say they get credit for the win, and nor do I give them full credit for the loss as well. I take the ref out of it completely because we know they're going to make some funky decisions. The part about the refereeing that upsets me, Kuva, is the amount of stoppage time. VAR, I don't care what they were zooming in, even in our favor. I'm going to be completely transparent. In our favor, they were still zooming in to try and find the most. Either use the UEFA AI technology, which is like that glass curtain, that AI curtain. I don't know what they want to call it, but to me, I don't want to see it either side. If we had gotten the call, if eventually VAR gave us a couple of good calls and we ended up squeaking out a result, I would have been upset still with the amount of time that they put into looking into different things. Like, let the referee. That's how the game was played, right? If I'm not mistaken, Kuva, when I played it, there wasn't no zooming in, anchor point lines. Like, to me, I feel like that is the part that hurts me the most out of all this because of Mickey Van de Veen's injury, and I attribute it to the amount of time that a bunch of people in a room up with computers and TV screens, they're all looking at lines and zooming in. I remember there was one in our favor, they were zooming in. I'm like, why are they even doing this? Why are they trying to find any little thing? Like, either it looks like it is or it's not, and if it kind of looks like it is, let's look. It is it. Okay, that's enough time. That was 5 seconds.
You know what? I would love to see the statistics for this season over every Premiership club, and just compare it to the seasons before VAR, and see the amount of muscular injuries that are happening extra compared to what was happening before. That would give you some actual data to back up that hypothesis, wouldn't it? So I think you could be right. It's clearly not right to have all these stoppages anyway. It's bad just to watch the game like that. It's terrible. I mean, today's game, crazy stuff. And again, I also agree with you about the officials. I actually think the ref did a remarkable job, because that was chaos.
It was madness, right? It was kind of like a barroom brawl a little bit. Just Udogi just flying in, flying around real quick. Let me say big up to Chang, my buddy from Twitter. He sent me a gift, and I haven't gone down to the mailbox to get it. It's just a little bit of a trek for me, but I apologize. I didn't get a chance to before the match. I was getting my son situated. But big up to Chang. In his membership chat, he wants to say, this loss is a watershed moment for Angeball. Come on, you Spurs. I love it. And then also goes on to gift 5 more memberships. Look at that. 10 memberships have been gifted out today per David Shear and Chang. How are y'all doing? Davo got a membership. David Calvino, Fred, Adam Solihan, and I am Han. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. And say thank you to Chang if you can, because he went ahead and gifted that. Look, there's almost 100 people here. I want y'all to keep hitting that like, whether you thought we were robbed, whether you thought we weren't. I don't think that we were hard done by any. I agree with you, Kuva. It was absolute chaos. It was really from the beginning. And I wanted that. And then at first, go ahead.
Do you know what? In that strange way, when we went down to 9 men, I was kind of enjoying that. It was that sense of, you know what? Can we hang on here? Can we get something out of this?
There was at least 2 moments, 3 moments maybe. I might be forgetting, but Bentancur had one, Son had one. Oh my God, Son's was just a little bit. He had just a little bit, just 5 degrees of angling his foot different on that shot, and it's going far bottom right.
Eric Dyer's volley. What if Eric Dyer?
Oh, and Eric Dyer, that's number 3. Eric Dyer. I was ready to get up here and apologize and eat humble pie and say, Eric Dyer, you squeaked us a result with 9 men, and I am so sorry I ever said anything bad about you. And you know what? He wasn't bad today. I'm going to be honest. He wasn't the worst thing. Like, he had a chance. The whole stadium went crazy for like 3 seconds, and then it all got shot down, and it was all to hell. So for me,
to be fair, I think even if it had stood or we had equalised, I think we might have conceded again anyway. To be fair, we've lost 3 of our first choice defenders. Both of our centre backs gone. We were patched up at the back anyway. Even if we did put all 9 players behind the ball, I don't think we would have held out for 40, 45 minutes or however long it was until the final whistle went. I think we would have just had a really, really sad, slow torture for the rest of the game. What Ange did, though, actually set and his press conference at the end of the game, which was fantastic, when they just said, "Oh, well, with 9 people left on the pitch, surely most teams would go into a defensive shape and try and hold out for the draw." And he goes, "It's not what we do here." And he goes, "Yeah, but with 9 people, he goes, if we had 5 men, we'd still have a go." And I just thought,
I personally, that's an interesting point to talk about, because when I had just was starting to turn off the football terrace to start this show, they were talking about, a lot of people are very upset with Ange Postecoglou for doing those tactics, Kuva, for continuing the high line and continuing to go after them when we were down to 9 men and giving them oodles of space. And look how many times Vicario came out of his box and literally was just being a monster. And really, hats off to Vicario, because it could have been 8-1 if he didn't do his magic. It could have been 8-1 if Nicholas Jackson was just a little bit better. But for me, yeah, that's interesting. Where are you at with the 9 men continuing to press and have that high line and give up that space?
I'm all for it, because what Ange does is exactly what I like to see. Instead of sitting back and maybe you concede another goal and you just go out with a whimper, he's saying, you know what, we're up against it. We're massive underdogs to get anything out of this game now. Let's just roll the dice. See if we can ride our luck outrageously when they get chances, because we know they will get chances, and just see if we can steal something. And you know what? There was enough there that we could have done it. We could have done it.
We almost did several times.
We took the gamble. We lost the gamble. I'm okay with that. Why just sit back and take your loss? Because, like I said, Romero was off. Van der Ven was off. Doggy was off. If we're going to defend, then at least we need our proper first choice defenders on to do it. I didn't see that as an option anymore. When you got Eric Dyer on and Emerson Royale patched up in that back 4 there, I mean, God knows how we even got through it. Good game for Højbjerg to come on for him as well. I think if you're going to go down to 9 men, that's the kind of player you do want him then.
That guy, another one. Shout out DJ Khaled. Another one. Højbjerg, I want to speak on him in a second. George, shout out. Thank you for the dono to the channel, YouTube chat member, and super chatting to the channel. Appreciate you going above and beyond with the monetary value here. It says Kuva said he enjoyed 9 men. That was me too. So George seemed like he liked it as well. Not sure, maybe that's a euphemism of some sort. But big up George. Thanks for the donuts to the channel either way. Look, I want to say hello to everybody, but honestly, y'all came in here and started cooking immediately. You started sizzling. You said, I need me some Jacob steak. And you know what? I respect it. I've been going around. I've been banging my chest. I've been talking this and that, Kuva, on all different platforms. Shout out JC. He did say if we ever go at Chelsea, then that bodes well into Chelsea's hands. I was more excited to see this match at 11v11, personally. but
it's like the worst thing we did was score, wasn't it? We just completely lost our heads.
we
up.
scored and we were like, we're gonna fucking thrash these guys, and then we
It's like-
just bam, bam. We're,
Not
boom.
good, not good
Oh
enough
my
to win
God.
the match. We got to win the fight as well. Yeah,
Because it was literally just like we went up the goal and everyone's like, "You ready to fuck them up? You ready? You all right? Let's go." And it was on. They were giving it rough. We were giving it rough. And honestly, I like those kinds of matches. I love to see the fire and the passion. But then at some point, you have to control the fire, or it gets out of hand. And then now you got a forest fire, and now it's going on for months and months. Shout out California. Then you get that under control. But I'm saying that you have to control the chaos a little bit. And Romero, as a captain, did not do that. Now, I get up here about every fucking week, every day, talking about Kuti's the GOAT, Kuti's my GOAT. If you say he's not, you're disagreeing with Messi. Like, so I go around and I give it. And but you know what? Inexcusable. I thought same thing with Curtis Jones. When you lunge in like that, ball or not, like he could have taken him out for the entire season. And the ferocity in which that he went into that challenge as well, I thought was I love it, because that's what I love about Romero, is that ferocity. But just don't stomp with that ferocity. Just maybe do something. I don't know. The heat of the battle, it's really hard to say, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. And you know, for me, Kuva, I know I'm kind of rambling here, but damn, it just really, I love a barroom brawl, but like I said this on the terrace. It reminds me of the Alamo at the end of the day. Angels, in regards to Angels tactics, it reminds me of the Alamo. We remember it to this day. There's a monument about it. We tell every kid in America is learning about the Alamo for a reason.
everybody in the world knows about the Alamo, surely.
The world, okay. So I don't want to be as advantageous to say that, but I would trust your opinion about the world's knowledge on U.S. history more than I would trust my knowledge on the world's knowledge on U.S. history. But my point being with the Alamo reference is, like, we were down a lot of men. We stood there and we fought our ground. We did not retreat. We did not run. We did not back away and just say, you know what, let's just put a hole in this and just hold on for life. That's not how we play ball. That's what my manager is Davy Crockett. So anybody in America right now that is down on Ange Postecoglou, are you down on Davy Crockett? Do you think that Davy Crockett would have sunk his heels in and said, keep going for the fucking win, boys? I think he would have. I choose to believe that he would have. Now, that's conjecture, whether it's true or not, but the fact of the matter in history is they stood there knowing they were outnumbered 20 men to every one of them. And they said, I don't care. We fighting today, boys. And I like that personally. Some people are going to say,
another Western reference as well. I'm thinking end of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, where they're holed up after just robbing the bank. And unknown to them, the Mexican army has just taken up positions outside where they're stuck in there, and right at the end there, they come bursting out of the door, and the action stops, and you hear all the gunshots. And I'm just thinking, if Ange was there, one of them, he would have just been going, "It's just an army. You take the left, I'll take the right."
Exactly. Let's ride. Hey, you get my back, I get your back, and let's run at it. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I always say here, I'm not going to tell anybody how they need to feel. I'm not going to tell anybody what they should think and how they should support the club. But I can only get up here and tell you how I feel. That's what United Spurs America is about. Speaking of things that United Spurs America about, we're about immaculate vibes, love, and all the etc. So I'm going to bring on a guy who's literally just giving me the opposite of the two things I said. He was giving me the old middle finger in the backstage here. Let me bring on Paul from the Hotspur Hippie.
Hi, man. Hi, Kuva. How you going?
Big up, Paul. How's it going, mate?
Yeah.
Apart from a happy result.
Well, like usually I'm really pissed off when we lose, but I'm not feeling that somehow. Look, I'm disappointed we lost and everything, but just the manner of how we responded to, I mean, you can't get much more fucking adversity than that in a game. And we didn't let our heads go down. And I absolutely loved it. We're playing with 9 men and we're all in their half of the pitch. Still, Ange said afterwards, it don't matter if we go down to 5 men. This is who we are. We're going to have a crack while I'm here. So I wish, like I said, I don't know why I'm so down, or why I'm not down, because it usually really affects my mood. But fuck it, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of Spurs today.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. I don't feel down either. The bit I'm annoyed at is that it was bloody Chelsea.
Fuck it.
If it'd been Luton or something, that would have been easier.
And in our home is kind of, is Pochettino, and I went on and on about how this is more than just a simple match versus Chelsea. This is a match versus Chelsea versus the ex that has now left you for a family member. Like, this is more than just a match. And really, I felt like we were up for it. They were up for it. We got a little handsy, so to speak, on the dance floor, a little bit too aggressive. And look, I love this club. I love my team. I love Christian Romero. I know he had a rough day. We all got them rough. It was a case of the Mondays. Can we say it's a case of the Mondays, or is that too simplistic of a?
It's his first red card this year.
I do want to talk a little bit in a minute about the outlook for us, given the injuries and now the 2 red cards and 2 key positions where we really said these are the areas where if there's an injury there, we're going to look a lot different. Look, we got attacked in every single position except for Sons and Vicarios that I said, even he almost went out. Even he took one to the face. And honestly, when I was a keeper, I was in a PK shootout. I won the shootout, but I didn't remember it because I saved it with my face and I blacked out. Bam, and I was down, and I just remember waking up, my coach and everyone was like, "Get up, Jacob, you did it." And it was like, so he saved one with his face, and he was a little woozy, so he took it better than me. To be fair, I was a little bit younger, but hey, that's neither here nor there. I'm saying that. I'm really to point at things that I feel proud of in my Alamo sense. Vicario, I am proud of. Ainge, I'm proud of as well. And a lot of fans are going to be like, "Oh, Jacob, you're stupid, you're deluded, etc." Because even this comment, I didn't even read it. It just says Ainge is out of his mind. People feel very upset about what Ainge did, and I understand why people may feel that way. Look, this is not a finished product. We are still, I always said before this match even that we are going to provide opportunities for Chelsea to get in behind and score. We did that with 11 men, by the way. If I don't, actually I did keep some notes, and if y'all will indulge me here, Kuva and Paul, I want to read, these are just my first half notes, because I was just like, sometimes depending what happens in the second half of a game, I can forget little details that happen in the first half, and so sometimes I try to keep a little note. So for the first goal, these are my notes here. It says, great teamwork goal. Started out from the back from Van de Veen, worked to Madison. Madison worked it right, and then found Kulusevski, and he ended up getting the goal. 11 minutes, Pedro Porro with a horrible giveaway. Big chance for Jackson. Shot saved. 11 minutes on, Vicario's already saving our ass. 13 minutes, Spurs disallowed goal. Offside, Brendan Johnson to Sonny. That one was a cricket's dick length of offside. And it's unfortunate. But again, there's still, what minute was that? 13 minutes? There's still 87 more minutes to go out and get the goal and do our business. So I felt we had almost gone up 2-0 there. But like I always say, I ain't going to give VAR the credit, nor am I going to give them the blame. They get nothing from me. That's how I feel about it. They get 0 from me. And they took our goal away. Fair enough. 87 more minutes to go and get another one. But then 5 minutes later, Destiny Udogie gets a yellow on Sterling. VAR check for a potential red card. Let's stop there. Kuva, what did you make of that Udogie? I'm going in chronological order here because I don't want to forget the order in which all this madness unfolded, because it was before 11 minutes we scored. I think like 6 minutes, something like that. Very early on we scored. But then things start getting a little... Pedro Porro with a bad giveaway leads to a chance. But also his position on that giveaway. What is he doing over there? He's way over there. You're a right back, bro. But again, that's what Ainge wants him to do. So, like, I'm okay with it. But is it time to start questioning Pedro Porro first and foremost? And then secondly, I guess I'll ask about Udogie. Let me do Udogie right now. We'll talk about Pedro Porro when we do, like, our wrap up of our players here. But Destiny Udogi, the yellow on Sterling, 2-footed challenge, kind of grazes Sterling. Sterling gets his foot out of the way a little bit. VAR checked it for violent conduct for a red. Kuva, is that a red for you?
For me, no. I mean, for me, you practically have to take somebody's head off for it to be a red. You know, I think it's definitely reckless when you do leave the ground to go in, but the stud's showing. I don't think that's a very good tackle. Even in my day, that's frowned on. So I don't think it was a clever thing to do. Got away with it, but didn't learn the lesson, unfortunately. He did manage his yellow cards in previous games when it's happened, but didn't get away with it this time. I think at the end of the day, he is young. He will not have experienced a derby match like this before. Even the Arsenal game is not like it is against Chelsea. Chelsea is a nasty game. These sides utterly despise each other. There's no doubt about it. It's not just a footballing contest, as we saw. It becomes a fight, literally in a lot of cases. So I'll forgive him with that. I think it's a little bit sort of exuberance, a little bit naivety, and lack of experience in big games in this country. I'm okay with what he did. He got away with it, and even when he did get sent off, I felt really sorry for him because it looked to me like a legitimate attempt to get the ball. He just mistimed it. And I'm really annoyed with the amount of players in the Premier League that get sent off just for mistiming a tackle. I think it's ridiculous. It's also a game-ruining thing. It's like we've got VAR and these ridiculous sets of rules that are so rigidly followed that it's all to create drama. It feels like it's just that it's better for the cameras. Have a little advert break. We'll soon see that, won't we? VAR sponsored by, and then perhaps even a little song playing over while you're waiting for a decision. Celine Dion will come on or something for a cup final VAR.
My heart will go on. Oh, big up Ash. As I was singing, big up to Ash with the large dono to the channel. How are you doing, Ash? Talking to us nicely after a defeat. Thank you so much. Says, my sister-in-law went into labor at 60 minutes and she watched till the end of the match. What a champ. Super chat because I became an auntie. Come on, you Spurs. Real quick around the panel, can we get just some dubs for Ash in the chat? Can we say dubs first and foremost for becoming an auntie, and secondly for the Tottenham DNA just being so ingratiated in us. I did the same thing when my wife, well, technically she had already given birth, and then it was a day later we played Sheffield and we lost during lockdown, so that was a lot of fun. But hey, big up Ash. We lost as well.
One of my friends, when his wife was expecting their first kid, he had hired out Predator 2 on VHS, and he's just sat down to watch that, and then her waters broke, and his reaction was, "Oh, for God's sake, can you just hold it in for 90 minutes?"
Just hang on. Just hang on a minute. Hey, well, congratulations, Ash. You are an auntie. So big up. Thank you so much for the donut to the channel. Very gracious. And but big up. Thank you so much. Glad that we got to all tell you congratulations.
We'll through so many channels as well.
Yeah, very much a big supporter of a lot of channels there, Ash. So thank you so much for the very generous. Hey, you're making me feel better. Everybody, Chang as well. David Shear gifting some memberships. I appreciate y'all going above and beyond the Call of Booty to support the channel here. So thank you so much. And congratulations. Look, we still got over 100 people in the chat. Keep hitting that like up if you don't mind. Keep hitting that like if you're if you're upset with me, you're upset with Spurs. It's all good. It's all love. Look, half the people, there's 129 votes, but only 70 likes. That, by my mental math, is 60 people hit a vote in the poll but didn't like the video. And to me, that is a questionable lifestyle. Again, nothing is obligatory. You don't have to do nothing, but big up to everybody who is logged in and has hit that like for me. I do appreciate that. It is free. It costs you nothing to support the channel, so thank you so much. Look at that. Now there's 80 people who have liked the video. Shout out all single 81 of y'all. Big up. And good morning to all the Australian folks. Hey, Paul, you've been staying up. Did you stay up or did you get up early?
No, I went to bed really early last night and got up early. I just had a message from a mate of mine in England who was at the game. Can I read it out?
Absolutely.
So he said, just got home, listened to your post-match review on the drive back. That must be the one on my channel, Hotspur Hippie.
Hotspur Hippie. Actually, I'm going to put that in the title right now. Hang on.
He says, I felt the same as you. Strangely okay about the result, given how we only had 9 players and so many injuries. I've been gutted losing to Chelsea by lower margins, but tonight I was proud of the team, proud of our home fans, and proud of Vicario. So, there you go.
Home fans definitely need a shout out. They were just, I think,
They were awesome, weren't they, man?
as soon as we went down to 9, I think they saw the humorous side of that and just got behind the team and enjoyed it for what it is.
Yeah, fuck it.
Pull off the miracle.
And that's why, you know, Ange isn't mad for playing the way. Like, if we'd have parked the bus, I think the crowd would have reacted, got a bit quieter, you know, and we're just sort of here fucking waiting for the whistle to go. Whereas the way we played, every few minutes, it's like, oh, fucking hell, this would be so, more than anything, it would be so funny if we scored an equaliser. It would be like just a fucking bonus, you know?
So, real quick.
Sorry, so just before we came on, Paul, I was saying, I think the time to park the bus had gone as soon as you've realised you've lost 3 of your starting defenders. What's the point in even trying at that point?
Yeah.
You're not going to do it.
To me,
not
this
40
parking
minutes.
the bus, everyone gives Jose Mourinho a whole bunch of shit and grief for doing that as a tactic. But then when we go down, everyone's like, hey, that thing we were just bashing, let's go ahead and say that's what we should have done. For me, I keep my energy the same. If I'm attacking you from minute 1 and I lose some soldiers along the way, I'm attacking you at minute 90. And that's what we did. We got cut out a whole bunch, and I think that's okay. And Postecoglou said this would happen. Naturally, this would happen. Speaking of naturally things that would happen here on the channel, we got one more guest. We are going to be going for another 45 minutes, and I'm going to redirect everybody on over to America's next greatest, biggest YouTube channel, YouTube show, I should say, called American Waffle over on Staffy TV. We will be redirecting over there. I'm absolutely going to get cooked. Look, there's a bunch of wafflers over there. They're bringing out their waffle irons. They're bringing out their pitchforks. They're coming for me at American Waffle. But before any of that, we still got some time to discuss. I still got notes here on my phone. I still have notes to go over. But before we get to my notes, and let's just bring in a familiar face. But we haven't seen this face in quite some time. So big up to Phil Coys. How are we doing, Phil? You got a big smile on your face. Let me make sure I show it. And you've got a beautiful kit. You and Paul down there matching, looking like you're ready to play the next away match. First of all, how are you feeling? And second of all, yeah, in Angel we trust. First question I'm going to ask you after you say how you're feeling, and I hope you're too blessed to be stressed. The first question I have for you is, Angel Postecoglou, down to 9 men, continuing the high line, continuing the press, giving oodles of space to Chelsea. Does that make you mad? Do you think that Ainge should have done something different in that situation? You are muted. I cannot hear you. You're not muted. It doesn't say that you're muted, but I cannot hear you.
I bet he could have muted himself. You might not.
Oh, like his headphones or something he muted? That could be the case. Nope. No. Nope. Still don't hear you. Here we go. He's about to unplug, and then we're going to hear him.
No, still
nothing. Yeah. What's that? 111 people. Big up. Keep hitting those likes while we figure out Phil's
do the
audio.
whole thing in mime. I'm game.
What's that?
Do the whole thing in mime.
Yeah. Do you know sign language? You know ASL? I know a little bit.
Well, I don't know Phil's any Lionel Blair, mate.
I found out the sign language for my favourite ever word, but I can't do it on the screen.
You could do it. Oh, you could totally do it. You could absolutely do it. Look, I'm going to go back to my notes because there's more things I want to talk about, and we don't have as much time as a player would like to play with. But look, I'm talking about the Udogie challenge on Sterling, specifically in isolation, Paul. Is that a red for you? Did they get it wrong?
Well, I don't know if it was a red. I'm not even really sure it was a yellow, to be honest. But, you know, it is what it is. It's annoying, though. Like Andrew's saying about the VAR, that we're just waiting around for them to dissect the wings of the fly. I mean, I think overall the referee got enough right on the pitch today. You know,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're sacrificing the flow of the game for like one or two decisions, and you know, we lost our heads a little bit, and Destiny was a bit rash. I don't think it was a red, but I think we'll just deal with this one in isolation. Sorry, man. This one, yeah, yellow, not a red.
Yeah. I
hear me,
agree.
mate?
I think it was a yellow.
Yeah,
Phil,
yeah.
we hear you.
Hey, there we go.
Hey,
Sorry about that,
big
Luke.
up. How are you doing? No worries. Shout out George for the membership chat. Says I enjoyed that. Let's bury the park in the bus ball. So Phil, let me throw it to you first and foremost. How are you feeling? Hope you're too blessed to be stressed, my friend. And secondly, Ainge Postacoglu refusing to park the bus, down 9 men.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? Does that make you mad as a fan? Do you think we should have done something different and try to protect that scoreline a little bit better? Or do you like the idea of, hey, we're a little woozy here. We've had some war wounds, but we're still swinging.
There has to be a plan B with any manager, and I think he does need to mix it up a bit in games. I thought Kulu should have got brought off. I thought Johnson should have stayed on for that counter attack because he has the pace. So for me, I thought we should have dropped back a little bit deeper and then played on the counter attack like Liverpool did against us. But I don't think Ange is going to change his ways, and I sort of like that in a way because you know I like the attacking football and not giving a fuck and just going straight for it. So yeah, I'm in the middle of it at the moment. I'm sort of like, yeah, I don't know.
No, that's fair. I think it's. Go ahead, Kuba.
Sorry, Phil. Do you think if we had parked the bus, we would have got something out of that? When you consider it's Dyer came on, Emerson came on. You know, we basically lost 3 of our 4 defenders. That's not really the time you want to park a bus, is it?
Yeah, I mean, these are defenders that we slated for how long? You know what I mean? Saying that how shit they are defensively, and then they come onto the pitch and we're asking them to play a high line. I don't know. I mean, it could have worked. It could have worked either way, but obviously the way we played, the way Ange played till the end, didn't work. And at the end of the day, Chelsea are a good side. They've got a lot of pace in their team, and we had Dyer at the back, Emerson. So yeah, it just didn't work tonight. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think we can go on to the next game and get a good result against Wolves, and I fully believe we'll do that.
You think that we're going to go into the Molyneux missing Mickey Van de Veen, Romero, Destiny Ugodi, potentially James Madison? Thank you to my wife who just turned on the light so I don't look like a lizard.
I don't know what the full extent with Madison is. I don't know what his injury was when he went off. Was it a hamstring or was it?
It was his ankle, I believe.
Was it his ankle?
And we know that them damn ankles of his can cause a little almost Harry Kane-esque type ankles of James Madison. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little worried about that. But again, not trying to look too far ahead. There's a comment covering your face. Big up Oregon Goon for being here. Big up everybody who is here, rival or lover. Hopefully you're a lover of the channel and you're hitting a like and subscribe if you're new. We are on the road to 3K, so keep on getting it up. Also, Hotspur Hippies channel is in the title of this video, so if you're unfamiliar with the Hotspur Hippie, go ahead and click a link and hit a like and subscribe. Still over about 120 of y'all in the house. So thank you all for being here, either for my tears or for hopefully I got some things that'll cheer you up. I do got some things to say that maybe will add just a little bit less jalapenos to your potato salad. How about that?
I've got to say, man, I thought overall Chelsea was shit. They nearly fucking bottled it against 9 men. They were absolutely useless for the first 15 minutes. And there were times with 10 and 9 men, not for prolonged periods, but there were times we were bossing them off the ball. We were pressing them. And when we had the ball, we weren't losing it. But it was just wealth of numbers that gave Chelsea the space and the advantage in the end, but I wasn't really that impressed with them at all.
The first 15 minutes, Paul, I thought we were smashing them. I thought it was going to be like 3 or 4-0, and then as soon as the Dogies challenge went in for that 2-footed challenge, it sort of spiraled out of control. Romero sort of went in for challenges, stupid challenges. By the way,
Well, let's get into it. I do have notes.
Yeah, people are saying
notes.
that little kick
Fucking
from
notes.
Romero was a red card. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's not a red card. It's a little bit of petulance.
Maybe if you do it to
But it's not a red
Simeone,
card,
if you
man.
hit Simeone with that, maybe it's a red card.
It's
Maybe.
like Beckham. It's like Beckham's little petulant kick against Simeone.
That's what I'm talking about.
that's
Yeah,
the
with Simeone. Come on now.
Yeah.
Which is a great documentary, by the way, on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, fuck Manchester United. Excuse me, Manchester United. But I got some more notes, so I want to run through it a little bit. Big up Rich. Rich has been... Big up, Rich. You were at the match. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Shout out whoever's hitting those laughing emojis in the chat. I see you laughing at me. I see you. But anyway, so 18th minute, Udogi, the VAR check, we're all standing around. About 5 minutes before that, we were all standing around again because of the offside. So we want to make sure that they're offside. 21 minutes, so 3 minutes after Udogi's fun time, Sterling cooked Pedro Porro for a goal. VAR checked it, said handball. So then we stop again. And then Romero does a little kick out, so we stop again. All right. 27 minute offside Caicedo goal, then VAR check. Romero, we stopped for a long time for that. And there's a reoccurring theme here that Chewy's probably tired of me hearing. But he's here. Chewy has showed up after a loss. So, but then after that,
Chewy.
Palmer gets the goal, which by the way, Vicario almost saved that. Almost only counts with horseshoes and grenades. But hey, I'll take it where I can get it. And then at the 40th minute, James Maddison gets a little ankle touch, gets hurt. 43rd minute, Van de Veen hurts his hamstring. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 VAR checks. For how long they all went, I don't know exactly how long they went. I'm sure we could go back and time it up if we really want to, which I might need to. But my hypothesis is that this is the reason why Mickey Van de Veen pulled that hamstring, trying to take himself into that next gear that only he can go into, the upper echelon of giraffe-style running, gazelle-esque sprint speed. He tried to go there. His hamstring said, no, not today. I think it was because, look, as an athlete, you get warmed up, and then you stand around. Well, now your muscles starting to tighten up.
You sort of seize up, don't you?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is all this 5 VAR checks, all this standing around that we did. I'm saying that is the reason why our man's got hurt. That's what I'm saying. It's not
great news because, you know, he relies on his pace, and when you've got a hamstring injury like that, it's worrying. It's very worrying. David
Shearer, Van de Veen looked like a very, very awful hamstring injury. I hope it's not a tear. I hope it's just a sprain. That's the best. But the man couldn't put any weight on it to get off the pitch. That's not good. That sounds like a hamstring tear.
It's a tear, that is, Jake. Definitely.
We'll find out tomorrow. I know, but it does look. I don't want to say it because I don't want it to be true. But that looks like we may not get any more Mickey Van de Veen.
6 weeks. 6 weeks, that is.
A tear is 6 weeks?
It'll be 6 weeks out, that will. January. It'll be January.
Well, there's different gradients of severity, isn't there? So
but the way he went down, Cooper, there's hamstrings and then there's a hamstring injury. Do you know what I mean? That looked really serious. The way he went down, the way he grimaced, you know, he was grimacing. He was like lying on the floor. He couldn't even move. They had to carry him off. That's how bad it was. So, yeah, sometimes they can walk off themselves. But that looked really serious. But we move on, man. We move on.
Well, look, to me...
I'll tell you what it has done. Because that's made things very difficult for the next few games, hasn't it? With suspensions and injuries. And I just thought we have literally just made an effort to go into challenge mode. You know, people go for no alcohol January. We're going to go for no defender November. Because it's going to come in. We just haven't got anybody now. You remember a while back when I said about, we're talking about, come on, we can have a push at this league title. And I remember we were having this discussion on we need everything to go our way for that to happen. Everything. We cannot afford injuries. Little runs of luck with decisions have to go our way. It all has to go perfectly. It's come off spectacularly off the wheels in one game now. And it's not because of the result, it's because of all of those injuries and suspensions. That's going to hit us so hard in the next few games.
Well, Levy's going to have to...
trying to compete against Man City.
I'll tell you what,
title gone there.
Levy's going to have to put his hand in his pocket in January. I'm telling you now.
It'll be too late by then, won't it?
Well, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see when it gets to that point. But we need to spend in January. If we're going to get into the top 4, we need to spend some money.
Let's talk about what we do have right now, which I want to talk a little bit about some of the bright things. I just listed off all the notes I had on the first half, which is a shit ton. I've never taken that many fucking notes for a first half kerfunkly. And that's why I had to make sure I had those notes. At halftime, I went back and I made sure that I had these appropriate notes because I just felt like, Jesus Christ, I used to do play-by-play. I used to do statistical updates in different sports, and like when I did it for this sport, there was never so many entries into it. I'm telling you, my thumbs were going mad, and it was absolutely insane. But Big Up Ash says, Vicario is the best goalie I've seen in a Spurs shirt. A big claim, but today an absolute madman between the sticks. So I want to talk about some of the positives a little bit, because we could talk about Pedro Porro being an absolute animal, keeping the crowd involved as well. Someone might say a passion merchant. I would say there was 2 instances that he conceded where it looked absolutely awful, and I wish he was better defensively. But hey, this style lends itself to being caught out occasionally, and I thought he responded well to his mistakes. But let's start with the goalie, Vicario. Kuva, tell me, what did you make of him today? I know going into it, you love the guy. You and I feel pretty similar about the guy. We were the same coming in as well. We were, keeping the door open, want to see what he's about. But Vicario, for you, what did he look like?
Looked like absolute dynamite, didn't he? He was everything you'd want from the goalkeeper, especially when you're going down to 9 men like that. It was a question about, could he play the sweeper keeper role? That was the only real question mark about him. He's already looked like he's a solid.
Bro, he's a sweeper keeper. He's a mopper keeper. He's the counter cleaner keeper. He's everything.
He's also the calm head. He's the voice of reason at the back. He marshals the defense a bit. He's doing everything.
I do got to say real quick, I got to pause and then we'll bring in Alex and I'll let you finish that point, Kuva. But Hugo was here last night, Kuva. Do you remember? And said Jackson hat trick, and we were all like, LOL, what a loser. I mean, I didn't do all that. That's a little over the top. But Hugo, if you're still here, you don't ever come in here with a prediction again, because he was spot on. I mean, who would have thunk it? Michael Jackson hat trick, excuse me. A Mariah Carey Jackson hat trick. Could have had 2 or 3. Yeah, he was. Anywho,
doesn't really get any better than that, does it? Call it and it actually happens.
Yeah, like whenever I said Sonny's about to get a hat trick today, and then he did. That was a great moment in time for me. But yeah, Hugo, you cooked me. I'll play it for you, Hugo. Everyone who's been a rival, I've been reading your comments. I see you, and really at the end of the
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
I am getting cooked. But at the end of the day, talk to me nicely, because we're still second in the league. First loss of the year, and everyone wants to, take the poo-poo on Spurs. But Alex was live and direct. Alex, the first general question I'm going to ask you, the second one being Ainge, and I'm sure once I ask you, you will answer my second question, because, as a panelist member, a lot of people say you're this, that, and the other. But what I would say is you will answer all the questions that I have with your first answer of the first question I ask you. So, Alex, big up. Hope you are okay from the commute. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I want to ask you, Ainge Postecoglou, down 9 men, continuing to press. Remember the Alamo vibes, or man above his neck in some water, really trying to just do his own? What was your take on when we went down 9 men and we continued to play Ainge ball, so to speak?
What did he say at the beginning of when he started?
We're going to concede goals.
He's going to attack. He doesn't know how to do. He only does it the way he does it. I wasn't surprised. By the way, I was there live and proud in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Literally just got back now. Yeah, I'm sitting there, and people were sitting there saying to me, "Oh, we got lost 4-1." I said, "What are we getting angry about?" I saw a team fighting for each other. Yeah, I've learned more today about my players today than any of the games, the last 10 games.
Oh shit! Talk to me, Alex. Talk to me.
I learned Højbjerg is a good player to bring on. I thought Højbjerg was actually really, really good when he came on. Yeah, and Ellie treasure like I said on Sean's show, Spurs talk show, by the way. Yeah, Vicario's an amazing goalkeeper. He needs to do it 2 seasons. Yes, absolutely. Chelsea are absolute rubbish. Yes, they had a part of the first half. Yes, but Modric only turned up after the second goal. He only turned up. Yeah, Sterling, hot air. Jackson got a hat trick. Yeah, because we got 9 men. You expected to score goals, yeah? And I said the same thing for Liverpool, by the way. I said it was an embarrassing win when we beat Liverpool 9 men, yeah? That was an embarrassing win for Chelsea, I'll tell you that for a fact as well, yeah? Because I wasn't worried. I sat there second half, I said, Chelsea, do it, mate. Here you go. 9 men, yeah? Udoji's stupid. Romero, oh boy, don't get me started on VAR, yeah? When you're in the stadium, yeah? Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. It is so annoying because you don't know what's going on. Yeah, I didn't even know that Romero was going to get sent off. I didn't even know. Someone told me, said, oh, he's got sent off. Yeah? And let's be honest here, yeah? If Chelsea didn't get that penalty, we still would have been 1-0 up. Yeah? Yes, Romero got sent off. That was a stupid challenge. The Doge should have got sent off as well, yeah? Right? Van der Ven, it was coming. I'm not being harsh, but it was coming. You know what I mean? Regardless who's going to make a mistake, but that injury, it was gut-wrenching when you saw it. It was like, heart sank a little bit, you know what I mean? But you could see it, you know what I mean? But after those things that happened, I saw a team that was fighting for each other. And I think we could have actually at least got a draw out the game. I think
we
Chelsea
got close
were
3 times.
Worried. They were literally worried. They were worried. Yes, the ball was going over the top, but look what was going on. We had Dyer and Emerson in defence.
Alex, right now there's a bunch of 100s, a bunch of congratulations in the chat. They're hitting the emojis. I see it on the YouTube side. So everyone's, I think there's some people vibing with what you're saying. And you know,
Jacob,
go ahead.
What did we say at the beginning? We said this is a build. I know where we are. I know my team. Yeah? I know where we are. I wasn't saying Champions League. I don't really care about Champions League because Champions League's not even an achievement no more. It's 5th now. People say it's top 4. It's 5th. It's not an achievement to get Champions League anymore. Yeah? We know where our team is at the moment. We are building. The problem was we had the first 10 games. It's like, oh, this is going to do this. We're going to do that. Yes, I did say we could win the league. Yes, we did. But I said it was a theory. I said because the league's bang average, we don't need world-class players to play in your team now to get to win the championship anymore. It's a completely different league to that before the 90s, 2000s. Yeah, it's a completely different league now. Yeah, because the fact is, yeah, you need a good system. He plays his system. He ain't changing. The only thing that he needs to do is adapt his system to different situations. That's where you might have to criticize him. Yeah,
that's what I was getting at
what
earlier.
You need to do. Yeah.
He needs to have a plan B or a plan C.
That's why I said I brought it up on top of my way. He said, "Oh, you don't need to talk about Conte." No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The difference is Conte should have adapted his system to situations. That's the problem.
In-game management.
That is the problem. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all about being a system and you work around it. But today, you saw people, and you're only going to learn this when people are losing. I told people this in June. Kuva can vouch me for it, yeah? I said, all through June, I said, okay, he needs a bad run. Oh, you need to be positive. You need to be positive. I said, no, let's have a bad run. Now you're seeing what is going on now. You're hearing all the crap now from Chelsea fans and everyone else now and saying, that was rubbish. That was rubbish. I was like, well, I can see the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the ratings killer, who's been saying some being pessimistic is saying, we worked hard. Yeah? So if I can see it, why can no one else see it? Tell me. And am I lying? Am I lying?
No. Hang on. No lies detected. That was my lie detector.
Sorry, Jacob. I have to say what I need to say, and that's it. Mr. Box Office talking the truth again. If you don't know, get to know. Back to you,
Hey,
Jacob. I'm
look,
done.
I know the show ain't gonna go on the longest, but when you text me said, "Hey, I need to get on and say my piece," I was just getting back from the game. You know whether I agree with you, Alex, or disagree with you. I'm gonna have you here. I'm gonna let you have your piece because I first and foremost, I think you're a great guy, and second, I like hearing your side of the argument, whether I agree or disagree. Today, I'm here to tell you I absolutely agree. I saw a bunch of fight, and I like the fact that, look, these are questions that were going to be asked throughout the entirety of this first season of Under Ange Postecoglou. People thinking I'm supposed to be up here like super duper upset that we got our first loss after 11 matches. I'm not super duper upset. I'm more upset about Mickey Van de Veen's hamstring. That is where my mind's at right now, and just how quick it just all started tumbling downhill. Pedro Porro rolled his ankle disgustingly. I did that in a pre-match warm-up once, just jumping up, punching a ball, thinking I'm Superman in the air, and I came down and I rolled my ankle, and I was out the rest of the season. And that was in warm-ups. And this guy was out there full speed, rolled his ankle tackling a guy, and was able to finish out the match. I thought that was actually admirable from him, and I'm very glad that that wasn't another injury, because if he would have gone down, I don't know who we would have brought in, because Højbjerg playing a center back, Emerson Royale playing center back, this was insanity. But we were still going for it, and we still looked dangerous. 3 different occasions we almost equalized. But then how quickly things changed, because I remember kind of losing my shit in the kitchen there. My wife's like, "Oh, did they just score against you?" I said, "Oh no, Sonny almost just equalized, and it was about to be limbs." And not a very short amount of time goes by, and then she's like, "How's it going?" And I said, "Well, we're down 2 goals now." So, or it was 4-1 at that point, very shortly after that. So the morale went down the drain pretty quick.
It's not very often that you hear people saying they needed that third goal to kill the game off when you're down to 9 men. That's usually something you say when you're playing against 11 men.
Kuva, they had to. Honestly, they had to, because I was watching Chelsea players crumbling, literally crumbling. I was sitting there, I was watching them, because when I'm watching a game, I don't sit there jumping up and down. I actually watch them. Yeah, I had a brilliant seat where I was watching it. I was watching Chelsea, and I was like, Sterling is just hot air. Yeah. Some of the players there, I just think I would be more worried as a Chelsea fan right now. I'll be more worried as a Chelsea fan right now than Tottenham fan right now. Yes, we have got Emerson, we haven't got Van der Ven, and Romero's suspended, but we knew what was coming. We knew what was coming.
And Udogie's suspended as well.
Yeah, we knew what was coming. We said this already. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone said to us, "Oh, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it." I said, "Well, no, but we have to have that conversation. You know, we're not going to ignore it, because I know as a Tottenham fan how it goes every single time. Yeah, so now it's happened. I don't want to hear moaning. Yeah, because we knew what the situation was. Yeah, right. And this is where we're going to start seeing what we're made of now. Yeah, now we're going to start seeing now. Okay, are we going to still fight, regardless if players are not playing or not?
Can we get a fuck Chelsea real quick?
Yeah, fuck Chelsea.
No, that's the thing. I don't care about Chelsea. I don't care about Chelsea. Chelsea.
Can you just give him a little fuck you, Chelsea, real quick for us, Alex?
To be honest, I don't really care. It don't bother
Go on, Alex. Go on, Alex. You know you want to.
No, I don't care. No,
Alex doesn't swear. He's too classy.
You're right. He is upper echelon. You're right.
Look, listen. I'm an honest guy. Yeah, I'm honest when I see a team and they're very good. Yeah, and for me, Chelsea didn't impress me at all. I thought Liverpool made themselves better, look better than them. You know what I mean? I'd be more worried as a Chelsea fan right now, because
Alex, what would you have done? You know, when we went down to 9 men and we played that high line, would you have sat back and played on the counter attack like Liverpool did against us, or would you have done what Ange did tonight?
Probably, but I think it's a difficult one, because the thing is, if you've got your principles, you're not going to change it, are you? You know what I mean? And that's the thing, and I've just got to respect his values, because we knew exactly. He said this already. He said this in many occasions. He said he ain't changing. Yeah, and why would he change?
Will that cost us in games?
It will, but we knew this already, though.
Happens again.
Phil, we knew this already, though, Phil. You know what I mean? We knew this already.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I think the problem is that we've had these great 10 games. We've been undefeated. So I think everyone's now seen the negative side of things, and now they're starting saying, "Oh, we need to change it," and that's it.
And
but
to back up your point as well, Alex, he's been in the game for a long time. He's not going to change now.
no, it's not. And this is the same thing. This is the same argument we had with Conte. But the thing is, I think the difference is Klopp has adapted his game to the Premier League. You see what I'm saying? I don't think Postecoglou's got it, and I think he only is going to learn this now. You see what I'm saying? You know, this is what I said, is that you only know your team when you're losing. Like Manchester United are finding out right now about Ten Hag right now.
Kuva and I were talking about the same thing yesterday, which was,
you're right.
I want to see how we're going to respond from this, because this was the next thing I asked for as a fan, because this is a season in which I need answers to these questions I got. And as they arise, we're going to start answering them. Now we have an opportunity. I see how I'm flipping it and reversing it. Shout out Missy Elliott every single time, my queen. She said, you got to put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. So I'm saying positive from this is now we get to see how this team truly responds after a loss, an embarrassing loss. You look at that scoreline. I know Ainge is going to have that scoreline written somewhere in that locker room. He's going to have them remember that when we go to the Molineux. Now, I don't know if we'll talk about the Molineux at another juncture, but my thought process here is now we get to see what we'd look like after a loss. I hadn't seen that yet.
It's a shame that Van de Ven gone injured. It's a shame.
That breaks my fucking heart,
Because
Alex.
the thing is, though, with 10 men, I think we still could have won the game. That's how embarrassing Chelsea were.
Yeah.
That's how embarrassing Chelsea were.
It's funny.
It's just funny how it worked, because I just thought we were embarrassing against Liverpool when they were down to 9 men. But today, I actually thought we actually had a chance. I think if someone had more chances, I was annoyed when Kulusevski was still on the pitch, but then I saw what he was trying to do when he brought off Maddison. It made so much sense because Kulusevski was actually going in the middle and actually trying to be a striker. So I actually understand what he was trying to do when you actually look at it. You know what I mean? So when you actually assess it and look at the context, you actually understand where he's coming from. You see what I'm saying? I think the only player that didn't really make sense was Skip. Skip didn't look good today. That was the only problem.
Yeah, it was literally just a pair of fresh legs coming on. He was.
Yeah, just was it. Fresh energy. A guy with a full energy bar. Just throw him out there, and hopefully he could do. But hey, last time we did do that, we threw on just a full energized bar of Oliver Skip. He was jumping down the back of Joel Matip and forced him with an own goal. So it worked before throwing on Oliver Skip into the madness. But look, I just think where we were at in that juncture, it's going to be hard for a lot of players to stand out and look good. But one of them was, again, Højbjerg. I think he's come in. He was our first option off the bench in the midfield. So I think that he is a clear-cut that 12th man, so to speak. In basketball, it'd be like the 6th man, the first guy off the bench to help you with a match. Real quick, I just want to say again, thank you, Ash, for the very generous super chat, and congratulations on becoming an auntie. Come on, you Spurs. All things aren't bad today, but all things weren't the greatest. But again, congratulations to Ash.
Big up Adrian, by the way. Because I spoke to him as well, and I even spoke to him as well, and me and him don't agree most of the time. You know what I mean? And we even spoke to another Spurs fan, and big up to this guy called Finn. He was saying the same thing I was saying as well. It's like I just feel that at the moment, I think we just got to look at the bigger picture. We have to look at the bigger picture, and that's the thing. And I think the problem is we've had the first 10 games. That's the problem. The first 10 games.
Yeah. I agree about the seeing how we respond. The trouble is, I've said it before about I would just brush it off when we lose our first game. Brush it off, get back on the horse, off we go again. The trouble is those injuries and suspensions mean we can't get back on the horse. Because the horse has been shot and rolled into a ditch. So,
the poor horse.
He's still alive. He's still alive, though, Cooper. He's still alive.
Yeah, we're going to have to find something really special, because we're going to find a way to make possibly the likes of Eric Dyer and Ben Davis and
Ben Davis is injured.
Royale getting us through those games, and they are not Romero and Van de Ven, are they?
I think Ashley Phillips. Ashley Phillips
has got
and
to come in.
Dorrington now.
Yeah, that's the way, isn't it?
You're gonna have to start looking at them now.
Yeah, they're at least we know for sure they're going to be on the bench because we have to have a warm body in that position. But look, for me, big up Patrick Duffy. I have this star because I don't have too much longer before the American Waffle Show begins, and I redirect everybody over there for some American Waffle Show, the next best show in America. But Ed Sweeting, I started this, says, Ainge after the match was pure class, so much dignity, no complaints. Contrast that with crying Arteta. Look, I had some things starred, and I'll talk about them at a later juncture on Twitter, but I had starred the just stark comparison to when Arteta gets handed his first loss of the season, the manner in which he goes about business, and then when Ainge is asked questions, similar questions to Arteta, just the way he handled himself and the way he answered it, I thought was very poignant. But has anyone here gotten a chance to read or hear those quotes from Ainge post-game in regards to VAR and the officiating?
Not yet, no.
I'll read some for you now if no one has.
He was basically talking about all the standing around waiting. He's not a fan of it, and he's said before that he's always tries to big up the referees. He knows they got a difficult job. He will stand by them.
Yeah,
he's always going to be dead against VAR. I think he holds back a little bit with what he could say, but you could tell he was unhappy again. It's literally just it ruins the game. It's that aspect of it. It's not to do with not getting the decision going your way. It's just the game as itself ruined. The spectacle's ruined. The intensity of the game's ruined. The flow has gone. It's a really bad thing.
Isn't it? Sorry, Kurt. Isn't it all to do with just getting more media coverage and just making more drama into the game?
Yeah.
For me, it just doesn't need to be there at all. I mean, just go with human error. At the end of the day, I mean. VAR, I don't think it's the problem. I think it's the people that are running it, to be honest, in my opinion. But on the flip side of that, I think VAR does just break up the play too much.
I'm dead serious that I think we're quite soon going to see VAR sponsored by. And get a little advert
and get a little commercial break. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking during it, and that's why I had that comparison to American football, because I remember being like, I literally worked for the Dallas Cowboys, and I would just stand there and I'd be watching these players on the field in a commercial break, and they're all stretching, trying to get warm. You have trainers on the side saying do this. They're trying to roll them out late in games because they're trying to stay warm during these commercial breaks, and VAR today felt like a fucking commercial break. And that's why I have a disdain for the NFL, because I cannot stand. Yes, there's my beautiful wife and my beautiful son. He's waking up from a nap. But I just had to say that, like, the comparison, it definitely came to my head. I'm like, this feels like a fucking commercial break. That's just brought to you by Lay's, and then it's Lionel Messi on a couch eating some fucking Lay's with a Pepsi.
What, if it was VAR sponsored by Specsavers, I could get into that.
I don't want it sponsored by anybody, because
it's sponsored by Domino's or Papa John's. That's what it's sponsored by, because they're all eating pizzas in the VAR room. That's what they're doing.
Sure enough.
But Alex, for you were there. What was it like in the first half specifically? 21 added minutes in the total match, I think. First half there was 12 added minutes. Did it feel like longer than 12 minutes that y'all were just waiting to find out what the hell was going on?
It's annoying because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on at all. That VAR decision, I didn't know anything about the Romero red card or that challenge until like later on. You see what I'm saying? I actually had to go and call somebody to find out what was actually going on.
On the telly, Alex, there was 3 other things that they were looking
That's the
at
thing. We didn't
know
know
phase
nothing.
of play. In that phase of play.
That's the point. We didn't see it. We didn't see. Sorry to interrupt you. We didn't see it. I saw things along with it, and I was like, "Oh really? Oh really? Oh really?" And then I saw the red card. I was like, "What? What's going on here?" See. So this is the thing. It's ruining for the spectators that are there. You see what I'm saying? I think they need to do something to try and inform the crowd what's going on, because it's really, really frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. You know what I mean? And it is getting to me, because it got to me against Sheffield United as well. It really got to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? And Liverpool as well. I think there was a few as well, to be honest with you. And it's just, it spoils the game for the spectators. You know what I mean?
The
In
atmosphere.
the end, it was a good spectacle in terms of because the two teams still went for it. You see what I'm saying? And I think if it was a defensive team, I think it would have ruined it a little bit. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah, they need to sort something out for the spectators because I think it's
they
annoying
made
because
a joke on the
why
TV.
why do I need to call somebody to find out what's going on?
Yeah.
Why do I have to
It
go
does
to
break
Sky
up the
Sports
atmosphere.
Let y'all
to find out
see what
what's
the
going on?
broadcast is seeing. Let the stadium see what this broadcast is seeing. I think would be the first logical step that they could start tomorrow, essentially. But the announcer made a joke, Alex. He was like, if these things keep going on like that, they're going to have to bring out some VAR entertainment for the fans that are at the ground while they just wait. And they're sitting there zooming in on the most pixelated pixel I've ever seen. Looks like a deep fried meme. And it's just, how far do we push this to try and rule someone on or off? Again, I said at the top of the show, I didn't like it even when it was going in our favor. They stopped for 5 minutes to zoom in to make sure that our guy was not onside and was in fact offside. And so I just for me, against me, I don't really care. I hate the stoppage. And yes, Phil P, I do believe it had something to do with Mickey Van de Veen's hamstrings. But real quick, does anyone know the rule on this? Should the play have stopped at that handball where Raheem Sterling, when it hit his hand? Because then, as things transpired later on, that's where Romero ended up with the red card. So does anyone know? Is it supposed to stop at that handball or what?
I don't know. I mean, I think the more question is for me at the moment is Adoji was really bad. It was that he should have been sent off from that one. To be honest with you, I think it really started off from there. To be honest with you, if I'm really honest, that didn't really help the situation. But I have to watch it back myself, to be honest with you. But I do get what you're saying, though, Jacob. To be honest with you, yeah, the handball and stuff as well. And I think that was when Chelsea were really on top a little bit. They were on top a little bit. I think they were on the top a little bit, but that was the only time I was really like, okay. But they've got they've got useless strikers up front. Useless, absolutely useless. The player that scored the hat-trick, I'm sorry, Jackson. If you think that's the good striker, you really don't know what a good striker is. I'm sorry, Kuva. Come and vouch for me now, bro. You know what I mean? You know your football.
He's a slightly worse than average John Carew.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, come on. You know what I mean?
Or a slight average
Diaz for Liverpool. God bless his father. Hopefully if they find him. By the way, he was magical when he came to Tottenham. Absolutely magical. Yeah, and that was Liverpool with 10 men. Yeah, 10 men. Yeah, right. I'm sorry, this guy. Sorry, if you think you can do, but you need to do better, bruv. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'd rather have Richarlison because at least Richarlison I get some effort. You know what I mean? At least I get some effort for it. You know what I mean? But this guy,
the only real positives you could give for him was at least he was quick enough to get into the right position for an easy tap in each time.
Yeah, just Vicario. But the one for me, Vicario, boy, this goalkeeper, he had Sterling on toast. He had toast, bruv. Yeah, Modric. I couldn't even see him. Like our defenders were doing really well. To be fair with him, you know what I mean. To be fair, you know what I mean. So, I just think Chelsea don't come out of this well. I don't think they come out of this well. I think this is just this makes it. You know what I mean. Unfortunately, the injuries do really hurt us. So, that's the thing.
You know what I mean? These injuries is going to be something to definitely look at leading into this match at the Molineux next versus Wolves. And remember, Wolves did beat City, and then the next week after that, they beat another bigger team. I think they did. I have to go back and check it. But look, it's been really tough. I don't have too much longer left in the show, but I do want to go around to the panel and ask you just your final thoughts. You just wrap up and put a nice little bow on really your take on the match overall and just kind of your outlook on us for this season, and has things changed for you? Like Kuva, I'll start with you because I know our hopes and aspirations were through the roof, and this is one of those moments where maybe Icarus flew a little too close to the sun and the glue has melted. Is it like that? Is it a remember the Alamo type of day? Where are you at the end of it? Because we're now several hours removed from the result. I think we could fairly say where we're at now, Kuva, right?
Yeah, I mean, the game was just been basically wrecked by a couple of individual mistakes, bad decision making, that's cost us because we were absolutely flying the start of the game. Could have gone 2-0 up, looking good, and it changed everything. The whole vibe of the match changed. It went from us dominating them to it becoming a bit of a brawl, nastiness into the game. It's exactly what they needed to get something out of that first half because they were second best by a long way. That's the start of it. They needed us to forget about playing the football and start worrying about getting physically involved with them and turning it into a brawl. It helped them. So I'm not too worried about the result at the end of the day because we were going to lose eventually at some point anyway. It's annoying it's against Chelsea. 4-1 flatters them, but that's the reality of it. We did have a go. As I said earlier, we rolled the dice, took the gamble with the high line. It didn't come off. But you can also look at the fact that if we sat back with that massively depleted defence, both first choice centre backs off the field, first choice left wing back off the field, if we sat back with 9 behind the ball, what guarantee is it we would have got something out of that? Because certainly playing a low block last season with the likes of Dyer in there, that didn't seem to work very well, did it? Why would it work this time? So I think we just we rolled the dice. It didn't work, so no problem. We move on. We move forward. And as Alex said, you saw a lot of team spirit in that performance when we went down to 9, especially. Some of the camaraderie was great to see. Players like Højbjerg are who you turn to in those situations. He is the player that's there to depend on when you're in the trenches. We were up against it. We got beaten. No complaints about it. At the end of the day, facts are facts. Chelsea deserved the win because they created enough chances and they took them.
Yeah. Play cleaner. I say the same thing I said to Liverpool. Play cleaner. You stay on the pitch and you live to fight another day. We weren't clean. Like we said in the beginning, we went up that goal and then all of a sudden we were just like, fuck it, let's throw hands with everybody. And it was off to the races then. But I do want to wrap up, but I got to come to you, Phil, before I go to Alex and say goodbye. And then again, you don't have to go anywhere. I am redirecting over to Staffy TV. We're doing American Waffle. I'm hopefully not going to get cooked too bad, but don't worry, I'm going to have a smile on my face. But Phil, last final thoughts, just to put a bow on really how you felt about today and where you see us going.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. It's a bit like Formula One. We're just making a little pit stop, right? So we're going to get right out in the races and just go around and have another lap. And that's the way I see it. I mean, I think the next game against Wolves, we're going to be a bit light in the back four, but we go again, man. We go again. We never stop. That's the motto. Hell
yeah. That is the motto. We never stop. Speaking of never stop, Alex, I appreciate you calling in. I know you've had a long day, I'm sure, but you're back from the stadium. You were there for all the so just wrap up your final thoughts, really how you saw it today, and how you're moving on and where you see us going forward real quick.
Nothing's changed where I think we're going to be. I think we're going to be 8th, top 6th, or not 6th. That's it. I've not changed from it at all because we're in a build. I've said so many times. I said today, yeah, okay, first half, okay, first part of the first half, okay. We were all over them. Chelsea got into it. Then the VAR, then the injuries, and the second half was okay because we fought even though we had 9 men, and that's it. And I think for me, I saw a lot of fight. Yeah, okay, you can look at it and say it was silly to play a high line, but Postecoglou said what he said. He said he's going to do what he's going to do, and that's it. The only thing he's done wrong is that he didn't adapt his system to the game that was played, and that's it. And that's something that he will have to learn with time, and he will learn a lot more about his players, which he's learned a lot more about his players today than he learned the last 10 games, and that's it for me. So for me, we move on to Wolves. The injuries do hurt us, and that's it for me, and that's it. And I'm not changing. I don't care. I'm not in denial because I've been saying that we've been bang average against teams that we've won already. So I ain't in denial. Nothing phases me. I know where we are. So that's it. That's Mr. Box Office talking the truth again. And that's it. If you don't know, you should get to know. And that's it. Back to you, Token. I'm done.
Love it, Alex. I appreciate you calling in, and I'm sorry that we couldn't go longer, but I will be continuing to chat my shit on over at Staffy TV right now as I redirect and end this show off. But I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has tuned in. Shout out David with the Irish Hotspur. Shout out Sav. I saw him in the chat. Didn't get a second to say hello, but big ups to you both. Shout out Donovan as well for using his membership chances. Dyer wanted his moment. It's time to step up. Hey, he's either way you shake it, we're missing 2 center backs, so I don't know that we can get away from Dyer. I feel like at some point it was always going to happen. He is the Michael Myers just calmly walking, and we are the screaming whatever the actress's lady. That is us running as fast as we can from Eric Dyer. But we all know eventually Michael Myers will find you no matter where you hide, no matter where you run. Michael Myers will find you. But my final thoughts for the day before I send us on over to Staffy TV is this. First of all, I want to say shout out to everybody who locked in. There's Sav. I see Sav in the house. Big up Football Heritage TV. Look, we absolutely sucked ass today. Today we did great for 6 minutes. We had 6 minutes of greatness. I was like, yes, I love it. And 84, I guess 94 minutes with all the added time. That was not so much fun. I'll put it that way. It was not a lot of fun. We looked like shit. A lot of bad areas I'm very disappointed in my GOAT, Cuti Romero. Cuti, can't you see that you disappointed me today? You did. And that's okay. We all have a bad case of the Monday sometimes. Look, first loss out of 11. I'm okay. We'll move on from this. I like to fight. Remember the Alamos, I live by that motto, like I'm going to keep fighting until there's no fight left in me. And I thought that we embodied that a little bit today. Now, some people are going to say that we shouldn't have done that. Some people are going to say we should have done this or that. Look, I'm not here to tell you how to feel, how to think. I'm just here to tell you how I feel and think. And I appreciate everyone who did tune in for my thoughts and my feelings. So big up. I appreciate it. I hope I didn't catch up in the chat today because y'all are absolutely killing it. But I saw a whole bunch of rivals in here. So I want to say shout out to all the rivals. The rivalry helps fuel the fire. So big up to those. Big up to the Chelsea folk. Congratulations. You earned the win. Could have been 8-1 today. It could have been 8-1 if Vicario wasn't so damn good and Nicholas Jackson wasn't so damn bad. He could have had a hat trick of assists. He could have had 4 or 5 goals. Look, but we move 4-1. It wasn't as bad as it could have been considering we were attacking their ass with 9 men. David versus Goliath, don't tell me is impossible. But look, I do agree. It does flatter us a little bit. I'm not in denial. I know we sucked. But I like the fight at the end of the day because it was our first loss. And everyone out here who's, going to see me during the week on different channels. I'm going to be on Hassam's channel tomorrow, very early in the morning for me, sipping my coffee, getting cooked like a breakfast omelet. But it's okay. But for anyone, speaking ill on my name, I just want to finally say this to you before I say goodbye.
Stop playing with my fucking name. I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
But until next time, folks, that's episode number 88 of the Untitled Series on United Spurs of America. Hope to see you all over there on Staffy TV. But until next time, stay blessed, stay fresh, up the lads every single time, and come on, you Spurs.
United Spurs of America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.